Today, we're diving into something pretty fascinating, a real economic paradox.
Yeah.
You look at China, and its money supply, the M2, is just enormous. We're talking, what, $46.3 trillion?
Yeah, get this. It's more than double the U.S. figure, which is around $22.1 trillion.
Exactly. But then you look at their official government debt as a slice of their economy, and it actually looks smaller.
Mm-hmm.
But flip that coin, the average American.
Right.
Way wealthier than the average person in China. GDP per capita is like $86,000 versus maybe $13,500 there.
Right, which leads us straight to this compelling idea we're exploring today. Is China a case of a rich government, poor people?
And the U.S., the opposite. Rich people, poor government.
Precisely. So our deep dive is about pulling apart those balance sheets, the states, the peoples in both places.
We're looking under the hood, for the hidden debts, the big assets, to really show you what's driving these headline numbers. So let's start with China's massive M2. It's tempting to just think, oh, they're printing money like crazy for government spending.
Yeah, that's the common take, but it's not quite right. It's more systemic than that. China's M2 growth, it averaged nearly 15% a year from 2000 to 2024. It's really a feature of their state-led development model.
How so?
Well, you have state-owned banks basically acting as policy tools. They push huge loans to other state outfits, the SOEs, state-owned enterprises, and these LGFEs, local government financing vehicles.
Right, for all that infrastructure and factory building we hear about.
Exactly. And here's the key. Every loan creates a matching deposit. Boom, M2 goes up. It got to the point by 2024 where it took like 5 yuan of new credit just to get 1 extra yuan of GDP growth. Shows a scale, maybe diminishing returns too.
Okay, whereas in the U.S., M2 growth is more about, what, private borrowing?
Largely, yes. Market demand, people taking out mortgages, businesses borrowing to expand. It's not centrally directed in the same way at all. Now, this idea of a poor U.S. government versus a rich Chinese one based on official debt, it's interesting, but also pretty misleading when you dig deeper.
Yeah, the U.S. debt number looks scary, right? Over $37 trillion, something like 123% of GDP.
It does. But the U.S. government's biggest asset isn't really on the books.
What do you mean?
It's the full faith and credit that comes with the U.S. dollar being the world's main reserve currency.
Okay. So everyone trusts it, which means the U.S. can borrow more cheaply than the debt number might suggest.
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
Its fundamental role is sort of facilitating this very rich private economy.
So shifting back to China then, what about its state assets? They must be pretty significant too.
Oh, formidable is the word. They have the world's biggest foreign exchange reserves, around $3.3 trillion. Plus this vast portfolio of SOEs. Think about it. Non-financial SOE assets hit $52 trillion. Financial ones, $62 trillion by 2023. Huge.
Wow. But what about the other side of the ledger, the liabilities?
That's the critical question. Official government debt might look manageable, maybe 85–95% of GDP, but that figure, it's really not the whole story.
Because of the hidden stuff.
Exactly. You add in the hidden debt from those LGFVs estimated around $8.4 trillion, and you start attributing a lot of corporate debt to the SOEs. Suddenly, China's real consolidated government debt ratio jumps to maybe 130% of GDP, right up there with the U.S.
So it's not rich government in a simple sense. It's more like an owner-operator government.
That's a great way to put it. Holding massive assets, yes, but also the monumental debts used to build them. It's a very different risk profile compared to the U.S. just borrowing from its wealthy private sector.
Okay, let's switch focus to the people. We said average Americans are much wealthier.
Yeah, the GDP per capita numbers, the median household incomes, the gap is significant. $83,000 median income in the U.S. versus maybe $14,000 average in China.
Big difference.
But, and this is crucial, simple averages hide a lot. Both countries are very unequal.
Right. Inequality is high in both places.
The U.S. Gini coefficient is usually around 0.45. China's is often estimated higher, maybe 0.50 or more. Back in 2012, the richest 1% in China owned over a third of all household wealth.
Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting, right? The direction of change for ordinary people.
This is the key point. In China, even with that rising inequality, the average income for the bottom 50%, it grew 5-fold in real terms between 1978 and 2015. That's just unprecedented progress.
Wow. And the U.S.?
Stark contrast. For bottom 50% of Americans, average real income has basically been flat or even slightly down since about 1980. And really, these different outcomes aren't accidents, are they? They flow directly from the core economic philosophies.
Explain that.
Well, the U.S. system, a mixed market capitalist economy, fundamentally prioritizes private wealth creation. So you get wealthy individuals and a government that essentially borrows from that private wealth.
And China.
Under what they call socialism with Chinese characteristics, the priority is state control and ownership, especially the big productive assets via SOEs.
Which leads to this asset-rich state, but a population that, while catching up incredibly fast, still lags in average personal wealth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The tale of these two balance sheets is really the story of two different ways to organize a modern economy.
Right.
Different visions, different trade-offs.
So it leaves a big question for you, the listener. The U.S. has high wealth, but stagnation for many. China has lower average wealth, but saw incredible broad progress for its poorest. Which system, looking ahead, offers a more sustainable path for the majority in this century? Something to think about.